Hey there, welcome back to Amazing Journeys. Thanks for tuning in. Today's topic is a bit different from our usual adventures and dreamy travel spots. But it's something that's been on my mind for a while, and I just couldn't stay quiet. Did you know more people are leaving Australia than ever before? That's right. Australia, the land of endless beaches, kangaroos, and big dreams, might not be the dream destination it once was for everyone. These days, there's a growing buzz about immigrants thinking twice about staying here. And it's far from being only them. Even Aussies are packing their bags and heading overseas for better opportunities. Lately, I've been hearing stories about people leaving, not simply tourists heading home, but immigrants who move their entire lives here, hoping to build a future. What's going on? Is life in Australia really becoming too tough? And what does this mean for a country built by people chasing the promise of a better life? So today, let's dive in. Let's unpack why so many are asking the tough question. Is it time to say goodbye to Australia? Alright, so let's get into it. What's really going on with the cost of living here in Australia? It's no secret that life down under has gotten expensive. But when you break it down, the numbers are staggering. And for many, it's becoming just too much to handle. Let's talk about housing. Whether you're renting or looking to buy, the costs have gone through the roof. In cities like Sydney and Melbourne, rent alone can swallow up nearly a third of your income. Imagine trying to save or even just stay afloat while juggling bills and other expenses. It's a lot, isn't it? And it's far more than rent. Groceries, utilities, transport, it's all piling up. A simple trip to the supermarket feels heavier on the wallet these days. Fresh fruit, veggies, even the basics like bread and milk are more expensive than ever. For some families, that means cutting back on essentials or leaning on food banks just to get by. Then there's energy. Turning on the heater in winter or the aircon in summer, it's becoming a luxury. With rising electricity prices, people are thinking twice about staying comfortable in their own homes. They're real struggles for everyday people. And it's clearly not limited to immigrants. It's everyone. But for those who came here chasing the promise of a better life, these challenges can feel like a broken promise. Let's take a closer look at how these pressures are impacting immigrants directly. So, we've talked about how tough it's getting in Australia with the rising cost of living. Now, let's dig into how these challenges hit immigrants even harder. If you've moved to a new country, you probably know it's already a big leap. Throw in financial pressure, and things can get overwhelming fast. Let's start with housing. For many immigrants, finding a decent place to live is the first big hurdle. And in Australia's major cities, it's like running an obstacle course. Rent prices are sky high, especially in places like Sydney and Melbourne. For newcomers, it's not only about affording the rent, it's also about the upfront costs. Deposits, bond payments, agency fees, it all adds up before you even unpack your bags. For families trying to settle in, this can mean cramming into smaller spaces or moving further out, which often comes with its own set of challenges like long commutes and fewer opportunities. And then there's the job market. It's a common story. Someone arrives with years of experience or a shiny degree, only to find out it doesn't mean much here. Employers often look for local experience, and if you don't have it, landing a good job can feel impossible. Immigrants with amazing skills end up stuck in jobs way below their qualifications, just to make ends meet. Imagine working as an engineer back home, and now you're driving a cab or waiting tables because it's the only option available. It doesn't stop there. Everyday necessities, like food and transport, can stretch your budget to the breaking point. Grocery shopping, which should be simple, can turn into a game of, what can I live without this week? Families are forced to make hard choices, cutting back on nutritious meals or school supplies for their kids. And for those supporting loved ones back home, the pressure multiplies. Now let's talk about energy bills. Heating in winter or cooling in summer, things you wouldn't even think twice about, become tough decisions. Do you keep the heater running all night, or do you pile on extra blankets? These aren't decisions anyone should have to make, but for many immigrant households, it's reality. Then there's health. Settling in a new country can be exciting, but it's also stressful. Add financial strain, culture shock, and the loneliness that comes with leaving everything familiar behind. And it's no wonder so many immigrants struggle with their mental health. For some, the stress builds quietly. For others, it's more immediate. Panic attacks, anxiety, sleepless nights. And while Australia has a solid healthcare system, navigating it as an immigrant can feel like solving a puzzle. Do you qualify for public health coverage? Can you afford private insurance? These are tough questions when you're already stretched thin. And let's not forget the emotional toll. For many immigrants, the move to Australia isn't only about chasing opportunity. It's about building a future for their families. But when the reality doesn't match the dream, it hits hard. Parents feel guilt for bringing their kids into a struggle. Young professionals question their choices. And all the while, the longing for home, the food, the culture, the familiar, never quite goes away. To top it all off, immigration policies have gotten stricter. Pathways to permanent residency, which used to feel within reach, now seem like climbing a mountain. Requirements for English proficiency, job experience, and even time spent in the country have tightened. For many, it feels like moving the goalposts further away just when they were getting closer. So, where does that leave immigrants? Many are asking themselves tough questions. Is the sacrifice worth it? Should they stick it out, hoping things will get better? Or is it time to pack up and try somewhere else? It's not just immigrants feeling the squeeze. Many Australians are leaving too. High costs, limited career growth, and stagnant wages have made some Aussies rethink their future. Younger generations, especially Gen Z and millennials, are exploring opportunities in countries like the US, Canada, and the UK, where wages are often higher and career prospects feel brighter. Remote work is also fueling this trend. Many are embracing the digital nomad lifestyle, working online while living in countries with lower expenses like Thailand, Vietnam, or Portugal. While this shift offers individual freedom, it creates challenges for Australia. Critical industries like healthcare face growing skill shortages as more professionals head overseas. If both immigrants and Aussies are looking elsewhere, what's left? Can Australia turn things around to retain talent and attract new opportunities? Let's take a step back and explore the bigger picture. How this nation was built by immigrants in the first place. Australia is, at its core, a country of immigrants. From its earliest days, people from around the world have shaped this nation, bringing their cultures, skills, and dreams. Think about it. Australia's modern history began with settlers arriving from faraway lands. Over time, wave after wave of immigrants came here, looking for a fresh start. They built homes, communities, and industries, turning this vast, wild land into a thriving nation. Without them, Australia wouldn't be what it is today. After World War II, millions of people from Europe arrived, escaping conflict and searching for safety. They weren't simply rebuilding their own lives, they were helping to rebuild Australia. They worked in factories, built infrastructure, and brought with them traditions that became part of Australia's identity. Then came the post-war boom. Immigration programs opened the door for people from Asia, the Middle East, and beyond. Each group added something unique: new foods, festivals, and perspectives that enriched the Australian way of life. But here's the thing. Immigration wasn't only about cultural diversity. It was also about economic strength. Immigrants have played a crucial role in growing Australia's economy. From farming and mining to healthcare and technology, they've been at the forefront of almost every major industry. Even today, immigrants contribute so much. They fill critical gaps in the workforce, start businesses, and invest in their communities. Their hard work and resilience inspire others, reminding us of the opportunities Australia is known for. History shows us that immigrants have always been at the heart of Australia's story. So, can the country find a way to honor that legacy and keep the dream alive for those who still see this as the land of opportunity? It's a big question, isn't it? One worth pondering as we explore what's next for both the people who call Australia home and those who hope to. So, here we are at the end of this journey. A look at what life in Australia feels like right now for so many. It's clear the challenges are real, and they're not small. Rising costs, limited opportunities, and changing policies are making a lot of people, both immigrants and Australians, rethink their future here. Australia has always been a land of dreams, built on the hopes and hard work of immigrants who've made it their home. But right now, those dreams are being tested. Rising prices, tough job markets, and stricter immigration rules are making life here harder than it used to be. It's far from being only about numbers or policies. It's about people, families, and futures. For immigrants, the question isn't merely about leaving. It's about whether staying is worth the sacrifice. Is it better to tough it out and hope things improve, or to take a chance somewhere else? And for Australia, the challenge is just as big. How does the country keep attracting and supporting the people who've always been its backbone? The truth is, there's no simple answer. But if history has shown us anything, it's that Australia thrives when it embraces diversity and opportunity. Maybe this is just another chapter in its story, one that pushes for change, for solutions, and for a brighter future for everyone. So, what do you think? Can Australia still be the land of opportunity? Or is it time to look elsewhere? If you've faced these challenges or have thoughts on this topic, drop a comment below. Let's start a conversation. And if you found this video helpful, share it with someone who might too. Thanks for watching Amazing Journeys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more stories that matter. Until next time, take care and keep dreaming.